CAE Video brings you the 23rd Post-Gazette Wrestling Classic. Hi, I'm Mark Uri along with Craig Nellis and Rob Sherrill. Tonight, the WPIAL team going to take on a team from Wisconsin. 13 great bouts. Craig, let's take a look at the WPIAL team.
Well, the WPIAL field's another very strong team. Their strength is definitely in their mid and upper weight classes. The team is led by three-time state place winner Chamie Hooks, and also by Joel Deloria, a AA state champion. So I think the WPIAL team may fall behind early on, but the strength of the last 7 weight classes, they should come back and pull out a victory.
Rob, this WPIAL team certainly going to have their hands full with a team from Wisconsin.
Exactly, Mark. Just the opposite strategy from the WPIAL. They're going to try and get as big a lead early on. 3 two-time state champs in the first 8 weights, plus the 4-timer Scott Haiti at 135 pounds and the 3-timer Jay Van Lannen at 140. They're going to hope to pick off a victory late at either 171 or 189, but the big early lead's going to be the key.
It's a great matchup. Sit back, relax, enjoy some great wrestling. The 103-pound bout coming up next. Joe Charles for the WPIAL, Mike DiVincenzo. Sean Kearney, the referee for this bout. And here we go. 1 minute in the first period, 2 minutes for the second and third. Craig, the WPIAL with a 4-year winning streak. Obviously, they're very proud of that.
Yes, they are. But this time, the Wisconsin team is coming back from revenge. In 1993, they suffered a defeat by the score of 24-15 to the WPIAL team. So we've got the WPIAL team in the blue and the Wisconsin team in the red.
Takedown attempt, but unable to finish was DiVincenzo on the edge of the mat. Wrestlers again working to the edge. DiVincenzo with a fireman's carry, trying to finish it off. And a good counter by Charles.
Critical that DiVincenzo finishes it right here before the period ends. That was a shame because he had a nice fireman's carry, had him on his side, and there was a little more than 10 seconds remaining, and it was critical. He scored 2 there. Let's hope that doesn't come back and haunt him.
Charles down for the second period. Scoreless at the end of 1. Rob, how much of a factor do you think that is with a 1 minute first period? A guy that strong on his feet might not get an opportunity to really take full advantage of that.
Yeah, I think that could be a real disadvantage to the guy that really wants to get off to that fast start with a couple of takedowns. But it really puts a premium on first period defense now, because if you get a takedown, your opponent isn't going to have the opportunity to come back and get that move of his own. So defense is good, really good key in the first period with only the 1 minute.
Well, Mike is on top and riding him tough. His opponent is Joe Charles, a state champion in the Division III class in Wisconsin. And Charles looks like he's coming around for a 2-point reversal. Referee Sean Kearney hasn't given the point yet, though.
Charles working his body up on top, slowly but surely. Trying to just get around behind DiVincenzo. There's the reversal. And Charles takes a 2-0 lead. DiVincenzo from Penn Trafford. Very successful season again for Penn Trafford. Head coach for the WPIAL is John Banco of Southmoreland. His team won the AA WPIAL Team Championship. Rob, what can you tell us about the Wisconsin head coaches?
Well, these guys have really been around and put their time in all year round. As now we see Charles getting a count with the cradle, and looks like he's going to have a 5-0 lead at the end of this period.
Very good second period for Joe Charles of Wisconsin. He gets the 3 near fall points and leads 5-0 at the end of 2.
Just a mention about Laverne Pieper of Stoughton, who's the honorary head coach of the Wisconsin team. This guy who has been a gentleman his entire career, is the all-time winningest coach in Wisconsin with 339 dual meet wins. Coach Stoughton to 7 team championships in Wisconsin, and this guy really is one of the most respected of all coaches ever in Wisconsin. It's really nice to see that they brought him along as the honorary head coach.
DiVincenzo trying to work through Charles' legs. Jim Sterner, the mat judge in this bout. Good job by Charles to just milk the clock with that 5-0 lead. And we get a stalemate call with a minute 19 remaining in the third. Charles of Wisconsin leading 5-0. Wrestlers starting this third period in the neutral position. DiVincenzo close to a takedown in that first, but just ran out of time, hoping to get one here and close the gap.
Yeah, that takedown would have changed the momentum for him in the second period. Joe in on a deep single leg with 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining, continued to bring the fight to Mike.
Charles trying to finish it off, but more importantly, keeping DiVincenzo off the scoreboard. 45 seconds to go in the third. And it looks like we've got a stalemate situation here possibly, although Charles appears now to be improving his position. And now he's very close to getting the takedown. There it is. He leads 7-0. Final 20 seconds. Joe Charles starting things off very nicely here for the Wisconsin team.
10 seconds.
And he's going to come out of here with a victory. And it appears as though it'll be 7-0. No further scoring, and Charles with the 7-0 win.
Well, that was a nice way to end your career for Joe Charles from Southern Deer County, a record of 35-2, and nice way to end his high school career. That was a good match by Mike. He came out strong, unable to score at the end of that first period. Now we'll move into the second weight class at 112 pounds. From Wisconsin is Kenny Schmidt. He has a career record of 37 wins and 3 losses. His opponent is Rick Warren from Latrobe High School, coached by Mark Billett. Rick was a WPIAL runner-up.
Jim Sterner takes over as referee in this match, and Jim Horner, the mat judge. 112 pounders underway. Rick Warren of Latrobe representing the WPIAL, and Kenny Schmidt from Campbellsport High School representing Wisconsin. Wisconsin with a 3-0 team lead following the 7-0 victory by Joe Charles in the 103-pound weight class.
30 seconds.
Quickly they work out of bounds. Halfway through this 1 minute first period. Good crowd on hand here at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. Wrestlers battling just for wrist control, and
10 seconds.
an attempt there by Schmidt to try to get to the legs or a duck under, but just couldn't finish. Reaches for the ankle, and out of bounds they go. 4 seconds to go in the first period. Chuck Tursky, the Kiski head coach, also in the WPIAL corner. First period ends scoreless.
The score 0-0.
Warren defers his choice to the third, and Schmidt will be down for the second period. Switch attempt, and a good job by Warren to maintain control. Little sit and turn move there by Schmidt, but Warren continues to ride well. About as scoreless. 30 seconds gone, second period. Another switch attempt, and again a good counter on top by Warren. Now Schmidt trying something a little different from underneath, and he dumps Warren to a sitting position.
1 minute remains in the period.
Warren hoping to get through the period, Rob, but Schmidt getting closer to earning points here from the bottom position.
Well, what Schmidt has to do here is score something. A lot of times you see wrestlers go for that big move and they either can't get the loss of control or the reversal and end up with no points, and now Schmidt does have Warren in some trouble here with the reversal and almost a near fall situation.
25 seconds to go in the period. Schmidt with a reversal now, looking for more. Time running out in the period does not look as though Schmidt will be able to turn Warren over. And the second period will come to an end, but Schmidt with a reversal in the period will carry a 2-0 lead into the third.
After the 2 periods, Ken Schmidt representing Wisconsin.
Now Warren with the choice. He'll take down for period number 3. Warren quickly to his feet. Tries to hit the switch, can't finish that. And they're out of bounds, just 7 seconds off the clock here in the third. Rick Warren of Latrobe back to the bottom position. Good job by Schmidt there to take Warren back to the mat. Tries to drive a half Nelson in, and Warren had to be quick to get out of that situation. Under a minute and a half to go now in the third. Schmidt riding with a 2-0 lead.
You know, anybody that watches Pennsylvania wrestling on a regular basis knows that Pennsylvania wrestlers are famous for very solid mat work, and the officiating style encourages them to work on the mat. And so far in these 2 matches, we've seen Wisconsin very effective on the mat, and with the near fall situation here by Schmidt. Actually, a takedown, I believe, after an escape. But these first 2 matches, we've seen both Joe Charles and Ken Schmidt very effective on the mat. And boy, if they can take that away from this WPIAL team, they're in good shape.
Schmidt, 2-time state champion, leading 4-1 with 30 seconds to go. And they're out of bounds. Craig, you were talking about the Wisconsin team getting out to an early lead, and looks like they're going to do that.
Yeah, they've got the dominant lead here. I think they have some strength in the 119 and 125 pound weight class. So unless one of the WPIAL wrestlers can, come out with a good, strong, solid match, I think the favorite right now is with the Wisconsin team here in the lightweights.
Final 8 seconds here. And Kenny Schmidt is going to win a 4-1 decision. 2 in a row for Wisconsin, and they lead 6-0.
The winner at 112 pounds out of Campbell Sport High School, Kenny Schmidt from Wisconsin. Now at 100.
Coming up at 119.
Eagle. Tyler Rothel from
We'll see Tyler Rothel against Sean Amstead. Jim Horner moves in as referee. Greg Severn steps in as mat judge. And here we go.
Sean is coached by John Abajacey and Butchie Marino out of Trinity High School. They every year in and year out, we can count on at least one Trinity wrestler in the lineup, whether it's for the WPIAL team or the Pennsylvania All-Star team.
30 seconds in, no score here at 119 pounds.
30 seconds.
Amstead with 88 career victories. Rothel, state champion, 42-0, and looks like we're going to have another scoreless first period. Time will run out.
Mark, I think it's a little bit of adjustment too for these wrestlers. You know, we're going to probably see a lot of scoreless first periods because they're used to wrestling 2 minutes, and because of the two back-to-back events here, we've got the first period being shortened by 1 minute. So a lot of times these high school wrestlers are used to feeling each other out in the first minute and then picking their strategy, seeing the opponent's weakness, seeing their opportunity, and making something happen. So hopefully some of the other wrestlers are going to be able to see that they're going to have to start their motion quicker. But boy, Sean's in.
Amstead going around the head, through the legs, right to a cradle. Sean Amstead got a takedown and close to getting a fall here. Jim Horner looking right at it. Amstead trying to tie up this dual meet for the WPIAL team with a fall here. And interestingly enough, it was not Amstead's choice here in the second period. But obviously he likes the neutral position.
Mark, we can't see real well from our angle, but the crowd seems to think that it's a pin and they're looking for one. I can see Sean kind of looking over and trying to make some adjustments there. He's got a whole minute and 5 seconds, so he's got a lot of time. And I think what he needs to do is just wear out Tyler. You know, he keep it tight, keep squeezing him, and just wear him down.
Amstead looking up at the clock, and now he'll try to adjust his combination.
Amazing. It's been the right shoulder that Amstead is trying to get down. And, you know, when you take your opponent down to your back with that kind of a cradle with all but 1:45 seconds left in the period and you still haven't gotten the pin, well, it is 5 points, and you probably have taken a lot of the fight out of your opponent. We'll just have to see that if that's the case in the third period, if in fact he doesn't get the fall here. Amazing that it hasn't been called, but still the right shoulder of Rothel is not down.
You can see that, well, now they adjust their angle. We don't see it as well, but that right shoulder appeared to be up off the mat the entire time. Obviously a good period for Amstead. Rothel using the right elbow to kind of keep that shoulder up off the mat. But Sean Amstead of Trinity with the takedown and 3 near fall points. Got to shake the arms loose a little bit, but he leads 5-0 after 2.
Yeah, and both the crowd is cheering for Sean, and Wisconsin team and coaches are cheering for Tyler. I mean, that was a heck of a fight by Tyler to just not get pinned. I mean, he made a point to dig his elbows in and keep his right shoulder off the mat. So we go into third period, and Sean's leading by the score of 5-0. They haven't marked the points up for the Pennsylvania wrestler yet at this point. But Tyler cuts Sean away, so that closes the gap.
Amstead with the choice in the third with that 5-0 lead, takes the bottom position and now increases his lead to 6-0.
Okay, I see. Misread that scoreboard. Okay, we got a 6-0 lead for Sean.
Minute 35 to go. Amstead trying to get the WPIAL team on the board. They trail 6-0. He nearly tied it up with a fall.
See Tyler working a Russian tie there, and you know, he's down to 1 minute and 22 seconds, so he's going to have to look for something big pretty soon. And Sean's doing a good job just, you know, not getting out of bad position. And looks like he's going to try to pick up his offense a little bit here.
A little over a minute remaining. We'll get a stalemate call, and they'll restart on their feet. Is that a contact lens? What it looked like?
Looked like contact lens. It's going to be interesting to watch this final minute and 5 seconds because Tyler Rothel may not win this match, but it's going to be as good as a win because by not getting pinned for 1 minute and 45 seconds, he scored 3 points for his team. The difference between the 3 points as it now stands for the decision and the 6 points for the pin, and we're just going to have to see how these last 50 seconds play out. If Rothel can get a couple of takedowns here and get it close, well, it's going to provide even more momentum for Wisconsin going into the 2-time state champion Josh Habeck at 125.
Rothel gets the takedown and then gives up an escape, so it's now 7-2.
30 seconds.
But time running out. Beautiful fireman's carry by Amstead, and that will wrap up the victory for him with less than 20 seconds to go.
You're absolutely right, Mark. That was a well-executed fireman's carry. It was a little bit of motion before he hit it. Really surprised Tyler.
So it's going to be a 9-2 win for Sean Amstead of Trinity and the WPIAL. And he gets his team on the board. It is 6-3 Wisconsin leads after 3 bouts. Amstead with a big smile on his face, and certainly a fine performance for him.
Out of Trinity area, Sean Amstead at 119 pounds.
We'll see if we can get Jim Volcano in here to tell us about his 125-pounder, Todd Beatty.
From Chargers, Houston.
He'll be taking on Josh Habeck. How much, if anything, does Todd know about Josh Habeck going into this bout?
He knows very little, I guess, from what he just saw over the practice room. Thought he got a good shot right now. That's his best shot on his feet. Got to finish it. Come on.
You're a little more subdued here than what you are in the corner.
Yeah, I'm a little more relaxed tonight. Oh, jeez. Todd doesn't want to be.
Rob, obviously, Todd Beatty with his hands full here against Habeck.
Well, this is a weight where Habeck is going to be counted on to get some major points for Wisconsin. Nice counter to get out of that deep single leg, and now the cradle, and he's going to get some more points. But certainly at least a major, I believe, being counted on by the Wisconsin coaches here.
Well, Habeck with a takedown and a couple of near fall points leads 4-0, and we have a break in the action.
Thank you.
I didn't really notice that. I tell you. Oh. All right, ready to get back to action here. 4-0 lead for Habeck. And time going to run out here in the first period. Nearly near fall points there at the buzzer.
Yeah, we've talked all broadcast about first period points being so important, and 4 of them for Josh Habeck, and he's off to a great start, and he'll take the neutral position for the second period.
At the end of period 1, Josh Habeck representing.
Jim, what did this mean to Todd to be named to wrestle in the Classic?
He was very honored. I know that. When I told him, they were thinking about someone else, he got pretty bummed out. Then when he got the call Sunday night, he was very, very excited.
It's 4-0. Habeck, Wisconsin leading. Team score 6-3 in favor of Wisconsin at this point. Under a minute and a half to go here in the second period. Greg Severn, the referee here, and the wrestlers work out of bounds.
Stay open!
So they'll restart here on their feet. Habeck still holding on to the 4-0 lead. You said he had his best shot earlier.
His best position is on his feet, and he gets beat on his feet, and he's in trouble. Because his worst position is on the bottom, and if you get taken down, you're on the bottom, so. Scott, there he is. He needs to be scoring on his feet.
He shot again for the single leg here as he did in the first period. Is that his preference?
Well, his best shot is his low single, and that's what he hit in the first shot, and he almost had him taken down. He had a bad finish. The guy countered, but the second shot, he hit him with a higher single, and the kid just overpowered Todd.
Still 4-0, 40 seconds to go, second period. Josh Habeck of Wisconsin with the lead, and we get a stalemate. They'll restart again on their feet. You know, we talked to Jimmy about what this means for a wrestler to be named to the Classic here in his local area. Rob, how do the teams that travel here, especially from as far away as Wisconsin or a little bit later, some of the kids from all over the place in the United States, how do they feel about it?
Oh, they just love it. Just like for Todd Beatty, it's a great honor for them to be here and to be able to showcase their talents in front of a big crowd like this. I mean, there's more and more awareness than ever of how good some of these great wrestlers are, and people expect to see them here performing in the Dapper Dan Classic, and it's just a great show, and everybody loves it. Not only the Pennsylvania kids, but the U.S. kids. They love coming here and getting the opportunity to perform.
End of 2 periods. Habeck still with a 4-0 lead. Jim, you said that this is not Todd's best position.
If he's going to score, he's going to score earlier in the third period. And the longer he's down, the worse he gets. So he's got to score now, and he's in a good situation now where he can get out. Stalemate.
Does he have any definite plans for the future?
I think he's looking at UPJ, and I think he wants to play a little bit of soccer.
Beatty trying to get out from the bottom position here.
There it is. Come on, Darren.
4-0 the score. 1:35 to go. Rolling into the Peterson.
Yes. Oh, get your 3.
Beatty with the 2 points for the reversal to make it 4-2. And now he's going to get 3 near fall points to take a 5-4 lead. The question is, can he hang on?
You might want to ask TJ Jaworski that same thing.
Tough position for Habeck here, Rob.
No,
he can't stay there for the last minute and 10 seconds that we have here.
Oh, he's got 1:05 to get out, but boy, this would be a huge turn of events for the WPIAL team to beat a wrestler that clearly Wisconsin expected to get some points from. And if he gets out and gets a point, he is probably in okay position, but he's still got to do that. It's 5-4 at this point, even though the points haven't been awarded. And now Habeck down to 40 seconds to try and get out of there.
Jim, you said that the bottom was not Todd's best position. He surprised you here with this Peterson a little bit?
Well, he finally moved. Usually doesn't move too good off the bottom. He's moving excellent here. Now he's got to stay tough on top and ride him out with 25 to go.
It's 5-4. Beatty for the WPIAL with the lead. And now the question is, can he hang on here in the last 15 seconds?
Keep him on, Todd!
Once a coach, always a coach.
This is what a simple stand-up would do for Josh Habeck right now. Looks like he doesn't have one.
A terrific win for Todd Beatty of Chartiers Houston. We want to thank Jim Volcano, Todd Beatty's coach, for coming over and sitting with us. And a big 5-point period for Beatty. He wins the bout 5-4. And we are now tied at 6 apiece.
At 130 pounds, out of Muskego, Nick Blowott. And out of Derry area.
So Nick Blowott for Wisconsin and Blaze Musey of Derry as we go to 130 pounds. What does that do to the complexion of the rest of this dual meet, Rob?
Right now it changes it an awful lot, because obviously Wisconsin expected to get points out of Josh Habeck. They didn't. Now they really put the pressure on their next 4 wrestlers. And talking to the coaches before this match started, they felt they had to win 1 out of 2, either at 140 with Jay Van Lannen against Shamie Hooks, or at 145 with Jason May of Coleman against Joel Delorier, the AA state champ from Burrell. And now they may be put in the position of having to win both those matches to have that chance. Well, I just have to see what happens.
So a big turn of events. The win for Todd Beatty of Chartiers Houston and the WPIAL at 125 pounds. And the WPIAL ties things up here. Craig, probably a little better position maybe than they thought they'd be in at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I never mind eating crow when I'm wrong, especially when it's going to favor the WPIAL. There's definitely 2 wins that surprised me here.
And no video cameras are permitted.
We have a break in the action. Blowott with a little problem there. Dennis Bell out to take care of it. Blowout and Busey back into action here late in the first period. No score. Busey, a young man with a great career at Dairy Area High School. 125 career wins for him, and he's looking for a big package early. Doesn't get everything he was looking for, but he does get the takedown, and he'll lead 2-0 as the first period comes to an end.
At the end of period 1.
Blaze is coached by Ken Hackman. He was a WPIAL champion this year and a state qualifier. So his opponent, Nick Blott, is 31-3 this year.
Rustlers will start the second period neutral, but we have some blood and a timeout on the mat. Rustlers ready to go now as we start the second period. 2-0 lead for the WPIAL's Blaze Busey. And make it 4-0. Well, let me, well, okay, they put the points up on the wrong side of the board.
Boy, he's really going to work offensively here, catching that arm and getting another 2-point tilt. He's really on a roll. He's got the momentum at this point.
And a 6-0 lead. Busey, a guy that now as he gives up a reversal, felt that he had something to prove going up to the Pennsylvania State Tournament a week ago. And still wrestling with that same frame of mind, it appears.
Right, and had a disappointing loss, of course, in the consolations at the state tournament to Matt Pekarsik of Penn Trafford. And here, now we have Nick Blowett coming back with the takedown and the near fall points, and he's going to take the lead with this move. But Busey, of course, as the WPIAL champion, did earn the spot here. And now the reversal. And this has been quite a period.
Certainly the highest scoring of the bouts that we've seen so far. And with 30 seconds to go in the second period, certainly sets us up for an exciting finish. Busey trying for near fall points here. Lead changing hands a couple of times. Busey back on top by one, 8-7. And we'll get a stalemate with 19 seconds to go in the period. Busey on top, hoping to ride out here in the final 15 seconds of period number 2 and carry that 8-7 lead into the third. Under 10 seconds to go now. And it'll be an 8-7 lead for Busey of the WPIAL after 2 periods.
At the end of 2.
It'll be interesting to see whose choice is going into third period and what choice they're making, you know, with the score at the point it is. So there's a consultation right now at the referees at the table.
So they're trying to determine whose choice it is.
Correction on the
And they're going to make it 8-5. I was going to say, I'm keeping score here. I only had a reversal and 3 near fall points for Blowott. I was wondering where the other 2 points came from. Thought I missed something. So it's 8-5, and certainly Busey likes that. As we get a caution here before we start the third. So Busey on the bottom here to begin the third period. Leading by 3 is Busey. The team score tied at 6 after the first 4 bouts. Busey trying to slide out the side door. Blowott out front, now trying to get back around behind. And a stalemate call with 1:24 to go in the third. Still 8-5, Busey of the WPIAL. Back into action now. Blowott appeared to be thinking about a cradle, but not able to lock his hands. Little over a minute remaining. Blauwat still trying to cross-face his way into a cradle. And now under a minute to go. Tough position here for Blauwat on top to try to make up a 3-point deficit from the top position. He does get a stalling warning here against Musey on the bottom, but it's going to take a little more than that with time running out here.
Yeah, with only 43 seconds. What I hate to see is Blaze do something, by wrong and shelling up and really, get himself in trouble.
Well, we get a stalemate call with 31 seconds to go. Busey looking to give the WPIAL a lead here, which would be their first. There's an escape now for Busey to make it 9-5. Down to 20 seconds remaining.
That was a nice low single by Busey. Of course, Nick is going in high because he needs some big points and walked right into it.
Busey content to stay right where he is. And a little smile on his face. Knew he got a couple of seconds off the clock.
Yeah, he knows that he'll give the WPIAL team the lead if he just stall up these last 7 seconds, and he's done that.
So it's a 9-5 win for Musey. And the WPIAL has won 3 straight, and they take a 9-6 lead.
Yeah, and this is a big match, big strength of the Wisconsin lineup. Rob pointed out in the introduction, Scott Hady's a 4-time state champ from North Crawford, and his opponent is Joe Lloyd from Mount Pleasant. He's coached by Rob Waller, and Joe has a WPIAL title under his belt this year.
Larry Maggi, the referee, as the two get ready. And here we go at 135 pounds. Joe Lloyd for the WPIAL, Scott Hady for Wisconsin. .40 seconds remaining in a scoreless first period. Team score 9-6 in favor of the WPIAL. Boy, what a beautiful move there. Takedown for Hady. Trying to get some momentum back for the Wisconsin team.
He kind of had sort of the double underhook there and took him right over, almost got back points along with it. Joe Lloyd is a very good scrambler, but he couldn't scramble out of that one.
Glad to have Manuel Pahikas here with us on the Classic Committee. And Manuel, 23rd go-around for this event, and it's great to see a lot of wrestling fans obviously coming out to see some great action.
We're very pleased with our crowd. It's been great last 23 years. We've contributed over $200,000 to Children's Hospital, which aids all children, whether they are affordable to pay or not. And it's a great cause, and it's a great event for us.
A lot of people probably think that you come out to an event like this and there's maybe a week's preparation involved, and anybody that gets involved with these types of things knows that that's not the case.
That sure isn't. We started already for next year. We've already signed a contract at the Marriott and signed here at Pitt the reserve the dates for next year. So it's a year-round event for us.
2-0 lead at the end of one for Hady of Wisconsin over Joe Lloyd representing the WPIAL. What do you see down the road for this event, Manuel?
Well, let's hope that it can get bigger and better, and we're looking at seriously wrestling another district in the state of Pennsylvania instead of an out-of-state team for next year. We've discussed District 11, and hopefully that might be the biggest change for us next year.
Another takedown attempt here for Hady, trying to finish it off. He leads 2-0 early in the second period. Trying to get all the way through the legs of Lloyd, who, I'll tell you, I saw Mount Pleasant wrestlers in this position a number of times over the last few weeks, and just, I don't know if it's something that Rob Waller teaches or what, but they all seem to be able to grab that ankle and roll around underneath and avoid that takedown.
Well, Rob Waller told me last week at the state tournament that He's got 50 hairs left on his head, and 48 of them are gray because of Joe Lloyd. This is we are watching vintage Joe Lloyd here. Sometimes he gets caught, but sometimes he can scramble out of situations and work them to his advantage. And but Scott Hady is really a very fine technician, and nothing Joe Lloyd has done so far has worked.
1 minute.
Still 2-0. Hady leading in the second period with a minute to go. Manuel, just a quick word about wrestling in the Pittsburgh area. Naturally, you know, you and I see the Washington County teams quite often, and we're certainly partial to them. But things a little bit more spread around this year. You look at the team champions coming from outside our area, and all in all, that's a good thing.
Absolutely, it's good for wrestling, and I see a lot of parity in wrestling now that wasn't there a couple of years back, and it's going to be good for wrestling. And hopefully we can get a little stronger and get more teams involved in the team championships.
Coming down to the end of the second period here, Hady still trying to finish off that takedown attempt. Not able to do that, but he does still hold the 2-0 lead. How long do the arguments last when you sit around and try to figure out who to get into this thing? I mean, I'm sure that's very difficult. Obviously, there's some guys you consider that you can't bring.
Oh, certainly. We have a number of college coaches that we get our information from, different kids that they're recruiting, and all blue chippers. And sometimes it gets to a point where it gets very difficult to decide who's coming and who isn't.
How are you enjoying retirement?
Well, the first couple of years were very difficult, but these last 2 years have been very enjoyable, and I wouldn't give it up for anything in the world right now.
Wrestlers out of bounds 16 or 14 seconds into the third period. Scott Hady for Wisconsin riding and leading 2-0 here, trying to even this thing up with the WPIAL holding a 9-6 lead at this point. Does it allow you to see more wrestling or be more involved in wrestling as opposed to being an athletic director in years past?
Oh yes, I've never given up on that. I'm still, my interest is there, and I attend as many as I can. And I've unfortunately missed my first state tournament this year in 44 years. We had a death in the family, but other than that, I've never separated myself with wrestling and never will.
Minute 28 to go here in the third. Hady still leading 2-0. Lloyd on his feet, trying to hit a switch here, but Hady with a nice counter. Local crowd wanted points for Lloyd, but Larry Maggi right there on it. Crowd still coming in here, man. You'll like to see that.
Yes, the crowd is coming in, and hopefully we're going to be able to top our last year's crowd.
An escape for Lloyd to make it 2-1. It's funny, Rob, you talked about Rob Waller. We've had a chance to talk to him last week at the state tournament as well, and what an entertaining guy to talk to.
No question about it, and boy, his team did an awfully good job at the state tournament. Came so close to all four of their wrestlers taking home state medals, and Joe Lloyd, unfortunately, it was the guy that did it, but he was one match away, and I think they've really laid a foundation for years to come. All three of their place winners back next year, and a young team besides that. They're going to be just fine.
And I don't know what he does, but boy, once you get into the individual tournaments, you can always count on, you know, a handful of his kids doing really well, maybe better than what you thought going in.
Well, certainly Robbie Waller, his son, and Harley Anderson, guys that have put in the time year-round on wrestling, and you saw that, how that helped them in the state. And now we got a scramble situation here, compliments of Joe Lloyd, but it doesn't look like it's going to wind up being points. Joe Lloyd's not going to be able to get his hips up. And, well, Joe Lloyd kept it close. almost had one there at the end, but it's going to wind up a 2-1 win for Scott Haiti.
Larry Maggi conferring with the mat judge, Sean Kearney, just to get a second opinion, but no takedown, and a 2-1 win for Scott Haiti, and we are now tied at 9 apiece. A break in the action here at Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. We get on to our 140-pound bout. We want to thank Manuel Pahikas of the Classic Committee for stopping by and visiting with us. Manuel, continued success with this event in the future, and hope to see you again soon.
Thank you very much. You guys are doing a great job, and thanks for being good to wrestling.
All right, we certainly appreciate that. Here we go very quickly. Jamie Hooks for the WPIAL, and Jay Van Lanen for Wisconsin. And Hooks out to a 2-0 lead. Hooks, one of the top hopes of the WPIAL team, a 1994 state champion here in Pennsylvania. Hooks, a guy that, Craig, I know you like a lot.
Oh yeah, and he showed it there with his offensiveness right off the whistle. So it was a great move, and he's got his legs in right now. He's getting a little bit of pressure on him. It will be interesting to see what happens here in the second period.
He leads 2-0 as the first period is about to come to an end. 9-9 the team score as we end the first period here at 140 pounds. Rob, your thoughts as we start to work into the second half of this thing?
Well, once again, not a good start for Jay Van Lanen, and a wrestler that certainly Wisconsin is counting on some points. And that 2 points in the first period with really no opportunity to counter. Van Lanen's going to have to get to work here. He's going to have to get out quick and get his offense going, but certainly Shammy Hooks may be the strongest wrestler on the WPIAL team, so they really may be able to seize a huge advantage here, given that they've had the momentum the last few matches.
Hooks, as we mentioned, a 1994 state champion and a runner-up, or I should say a 95 state champion, let me correct that, and a runner-up last year, and leading 2-0, and look out. Cradle here for Hooks, and I think he's going to fall. Well, able to avoid it is Van Lanen, but he was in deep trouble there momentarily.
A lot of credit to Jamie there. I mean, he's really been working the cradle. It started off in legs, and Jay Van Lanen countered, and Jamie changed off to the cradle, and he just continued to force it, and he got it and got some back points.
So he's got a 5-0 lead here midway through the second period. Trying to break a 9-all tie here between these two teams. Van Lanen, a two-time state champion, undefeated this year, 41-0. But he's down 5-0. 9-all team tie here. Hooks with the legs in, able to maintain control here despite the effort by Van Lanen from the bottom.
Yeah, and Jamie's a good leg rider. He knows what he's doing with the legs in, and as you saw earlier on, he knows how to change off out of the legs and working into an offensive pinning combination for himself.
Under 30 seconds remaining in the second period. Hooks with 3 near fall points in this period, looking to carry that 5-0 lead into the third. Van Lanen trying to get out, but running out of time here. And Hooks will carry that 5-0 lead into the third period.
At the end of 2 periods.
Hooks, I'm sure, Rob, losing in the Pennsylvania State Finals a year ago, hoping to get back there this year. Unfortunately for him, that wasn't the case.
Well, a lot of heart to come back after losing early in the tournament as he did in the quarterfinals. And, when you've wrestled and won the state title and finished second previously, and that kind of thing happens to you, you're kind of tempted to maybe fall in the tank a little bit, and to wrestle back for third as he did showed a lot of heart and desire on his part, and he's really wrestled solid here in this match against Van Lannen. He's really continuing the momentum of the Pennsylvania team's got right now.
Picks up the reversal here to go up 7-0. A couple of separate one counts, so no near fall points. Yeah, I agree with you. Anytime you see a guy battle back through the consolation rounds, especially a long way through, that really shows you something about the heart, and Hooks certainly with a lot of that. He leads 7-0 here with 1:22 to go. Van Lannen for Wisconsin on the bottom, down by 7 as the WPIAL tries to retake the lead here, and Hooks with 1:15 remaining here, close to giving them that lead.
Yeah, not only a commanding lead, but he's definitely got all the momentum, and he's controlling the pace of the match and the tempo of the match, etc. So I think, Jamie's sure to win. What we'd like to see him do is continue to push and rack up some more team points for the WPIAL and go for the Outstanding Wrestler Award.
Stalling warning against Van Lannen on the bottom. The first of those, so score remains 7-0 as Hooks tries to go for the major decision here, and he'll give up an escape in an effort to do that. So they're back to neutral with 30 seconds left. Van Lannen shuts Hooks off with the underhook there. Final 20 seconds, 7-1 the score. Hooks trying for the takedown, but now it's Van Lannen who's trying to get around behind and pick up the 2 points. Hooks now reaching through, grabbing a leg. Time going to run out here. And a 7-0 win for Jamie Hooks, and a 7-1 win, my apologies. A 12-9 team lead now for the WPIAL.
The winner at 140 pounds.
Well, from a team standpoint, Mark, this is not what I expected the score to be in favor of the WPIAL, so I think it's really to their advantage. Once again, they're now in the heart of and the strength of their lineup, so they got a good wrestler at 145, Joel Deloria.
Let's see if we can get Frenchie in here. Ed Deloria going to join us, better known as Frenchie. Glad you're with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure being here tonight and watching Joe compete for the WPIAL team. Joe knocked 3 times at the doors at States before he finally won it up there at Hershey.
What was the last week like for him after coming away with a gold medal?
It's just been heaven. I don't think he's come down off cloud 9 just yet.
How much, if anything, does he know about his opponent here, Jason May?
He really doesn't know much about anything about his opponent other than seeing them work out in practice the other day. Joel's pretty good on his feet, and he's coming in for a nice takedown now. He got single leg, working hard on it.
Trying to finish it off. Bay with a little counter attempt there, but
two takedown. Joel's pretty good on that outside single. He works real hard for it. It seems like on all the matches that he's gone through WPILs and the regionals and stuff like that. And this is Joel's patented move with that wing. He used that reinforced chicken wing and he hips it over. Most of the kids like to run it, but this Joel's little secret move is hipping it over. It's something that I taught Joel way back when. Joel, by the way, started wrestling at the age of 3.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be a state champion, 3 might be a little young, but basically, you got to start young because that's the age where most kids are getting started, and if you wait, then all of a sudden you're behind, and it's hard to catch up.
Yeah, it really is. If you plan on being a state champ wrestler, you can't start in junior high anymore. You got to start with the elementary programs, and we start them basically at 5. But being the head coach of the Borough Elementary program, I used to take Joel just to have fun, and I want him to associate having fun with being on a mat, and that to me was most important. And even today, he's still having fun, especially with a lead at 6-0 right now.
That certainly makes it a little bit more fun. Rob, the other side of that is, and it's interesting that Frenchie brought that up. When you see guys struggling out there or they want to get away from it is when they're not having fun, and that's, sometimes you see guys maybe I don't want to say they start too soon, but some guys will say they get burned out a little bit, and then that's the other side of the coin.
Well, you really have to keep the sport fun for kids, and I think Frenchie has exactly the right idea on this. You certainly want to encourage your kids all you can, but if you have to take a timeout, sometimes you have to take a timeout. It's as simple as that. And wrestling has to be fun because it's hard work. It's maintaining your weight. It's eating right. It's a lot of things that a lot of kids don't like to do sometimes. But you don't think of those lessons that you're learning for later in life as being fun at the time. But if you can top your career off with a state title like this, that's the fun part. Looking at thinking back on that whole experience and saying, it was worth it because I had a goal and I accomplished it. That's where it comes down to in the end.
Frenchie Joel with an 8-0 lead. Now he's going to add to that with some near fall points.
Yeah, we're still working on that patented reinforced chicken wing that Joe likes to hip over. It doesn't look like the referee's coming up with the 2 points. I don't know whether he's holding it down or he maybe just didn't hold him there for 2 seconds.
Well, apparently not. I thought I saw a 2 count, but apparently not. But still an 8-0 lead after 2. What's Joel's future look like?
Joel's planning on going to college, and he wants to be a chiropractor. But one thing about Joel that has really pleased me all of his life, and not only as his father but as his coach, everything Joel's done he's been totally dedicated to. And again, I stress on having fun. As an elementary coach, we tell our kids if they go out there and get pinned in 5 seconds, whenever they come off the mat, my coaches have to tell the kids they shook hands good. So it makes them feel good about themselves no matter what they do. And it seems like with Burl winning WPIAL, winning takes care of itself. If you teach your kids to have the fun, the winning will happen. It automatically does. And you know yourself, anything you have fun doing, you do well. And that's my whole philosophy, not just for wrestling, but for life. If I'm not having fun, then there's no sense doing it.
You mentioned about Joel wanting to go to colleges. I guess he's in the process of choosing right now?
Right. We have quite a few colleges calling up the house and a lot of letters. And there's the patented wing again that Joel did. Joel's been doing that wing there, that reinforced wing, I think since he was about 8 years old. And I'll never forget whenever he first went into high school, the high school coach told me it'd never work, and here it is, Joel's with the lead with that patented wing, and they're hipping it over 11-0.
And it helped him get a gold medal as well.
Yeah, it sure did. Sure did. We really enjoyed everything that Hershey had to offer us up there, and it was just a great blessing. And we can honestly thank God for everything that He's blessed Joel with. And if I have to give anybody the glory, it's God. And He's really blessed Joel with great talent to wrestle.
Final 10 seconds here. Joel Delorier leading 11-0 over Jason May for the Wisconsin team. And it is, you'll see what happens here with the headlock. He's not going to get the fall. He'll pick up a couple more near fall points and win 13-0. A major decision will give the WPIAL a 16-19 lead. Frenchie, thanks for stopping by and being with us, and best of luck in the future.
It's been a pleasure talking with all you, and thank you very much. And keep your prayers coming in for Joel while he's in college.
Will do.
All right, bye-bye.
I should say the team score now goes to 16-9. And a big win there for Delorier, Rob.
No question about it. And as, of course, as we said early, and now here is Kevin Bednarski in on the high single. But As we said earlier, the Wisconsin looking to win at least 1 out of 2 at 140 and 145. Not only did they not win either match, but outscored 20-1 and gave up 7 points. So it's not going the way what they want it right now, and I think you can really take it back to the 1-5-point Granby at 125 by Todd Beatty, and that's been the whole story in my mind.
Matt Medea joins us now. Kevin Bednarski's head coach at Washington High School. Bednarski wrestling Josh Sherman, for the Wisconsin team. And Matt, you got to start with Kevin's knee, and it's just incredible that he was able to do what he did at the Pennsylvania State Tournament a week ago, and even be out here again today. He's leading 2-0 here in the first period, and I mean, I just don't know how he did it.
Well, I don't either. If you question his intestinal fortitude, I don't think it's something that you can do, because I mean, what he did was, I thought, extremely outstanding. A lot of quality wrestlers wouldn't have lived through the pain that he went through. And I go back all the way to Johnstown, and that's where it first started, and we thought it was almost over, but he had made up his mind he was going to do it, and he did. Perseverance is a great thing.
Despite a lot of people telling him that he probably shouldn't do it.
Oh yes, I think there were a great number of people that did that, and I was a little apprehensive because I was worried about the knee itself, but it was just the meniscus. I don't like to enlighten and say just the meniscus, but the rest of his knee was pretty sound. And so if he could stand the pain, he could do it, and that's what he had to really do. And that was all mental. It was all mental.
He leads here 2-0, starting the second period on the bottom, 20 seconds in.
Come on, kid.
Sherman for Wisconsin here.
Don't tell me it went out. We had trouble with it in the semifinal match at States. It went out, and they put it back in. But that's the problem. He has to endure. But one of the things he tends to do is he can block the pain out, because he did it a couple of times when he had to get a takedown to secure the win, and he went after it, and I know it had to have hurt him. And I think that's how champions are made, right there. And I think with a good knee, I think it would have been a nice bout with Shingera.
And as they go out of bounds here, the takedown, so it's now going to be 3-2. Sherman with a takedown to pull to within 1 with 1:04 to go in the second period. Sean Thomas, another one of your wrestlers, talked about what Kevin went through, what it did for him, and I'd imagine that's going to have some long-term effects on your program as well.
I think without a doubt, the more you win and the more you advance, the more people look at things, and we were always telling them that the big thing we had to do is upgrade our practicing. We had to be more intense in the room, and the last 2 weeks from the WPIALs all the way to the finals, we went through that, and it helped a great deal, and I think that's important. You can get into a real lax situation, especially when you're better than other people in the room. And what we've tried to do is move people up, move people around, so that you don't get the same people over and over and over again.
Stoppage here with 33 seconds to go in the second period. 4-2 now the lead for Bednarski. Sherman giving up 1, trying to get 2. He did that once, but now Bednarski in on a takedown attempt, and looks like he'll finish it off, and he'll lead 6-2. One rule, no coaching allowed.
Oh, I'm not allowed to do that. It's pretty hard not to, but one of the problems he gets knocked off his hip or his feet a lot, simply because he can't post on that leg. And a couple times he got in a situation where it really it could have been a very pivotal thing, but just somehow he pushed off of it. I don't know how, but I can't ask for him to do any more what he did, Mark.
Indeed, and a big takedown for him right there at the end of the second period. If Sherman gets a takedown there, it's 4-4. Now all of a sudden he's got a 4-point lead here going to the third. He can certainly, it changes the way he approaches the third period, I would think.
Right, absolutely. And one of the things, he's pretty good on top. He wrestles real well on top. But I think his best thing is on his feet. He has a low single that, when he's healthy, I mean, he hits it to the point where, he could almost hurt somebody.
They exchange reversals here, so it's 8-4. They're out of bounds with 1:37 to go here in the third. How hard is it to sit here and watch and not be coaching?
I'm, being an Italian, I'm a little emotional. It's hard for me just to sit here and not say anything. But I guess I have to discipline myself once in a while too. But I don't think I could have done it 15 years ago. Okay.
Minute and a half to go here in the third period. Kevin Bednarski for the WPIL leading 8-4. And a reversal here for Sherman. So he stays within striking distance, Rob. It's 8-6.
Well, Sherman is only down by 2. He's really got to make something happen here. We'll see what he's got on top. But once again, Wisconsin needing to pull out a win here. Now Sherman looks like he's going to go on his feet. Probably his best move at this point because he needs points.
It's now 9-6 after he gives up the escape there.
That's one of the problems. When he does that roll, he just can't post that. He can't post that leg to prevent from rolling, But see, again, he got a low single right here, and he does that. He does that extremely well. And he gets his takedown. It's 2 points. So that's, that's secure. That's one of the biggest things. One of the problems he had to compensate was this. In other words, if somebody hits a switch on him or a roll on him right there, he can't post that leg, and so he just goes on his hip and tries to stay in tight, and he gives up a lot of points. He usually doesn't give up points in a match, but in this kind of a situation he did. But
well, we saw it in the individual part of the tournament season, and we see it here. He needed it was a neutral situation at the end of the second. He got a takedown. His lead was 2 points, and he needed a takedown, and he got it.
Absolutely, and he's been able to do that, and that's one of the things that's carried him over in this whole situation here in the postseason tournaments.
Well, another gutty effort by Kevin Bednarski, wrestling with torn meniscus cartilage throughout the last 2 weeks of the individual portion of the season, and coming up with a big victory here for the WPIAL, 11-6. To run their team lead now to 19-9 with 4 bouts to go. Matt, we want to thank you for being with us, and best of luck in the future.
Okay, thanks, Mark.
Well, just you don't see guys do what Bednarski has done in the last couple of weeks and what he did here, Rob.
Well, it really shows a lot of heart to, after the state tournament, come back here and wrestle this match and hit those nice low singles like he was doing. He could have just said, yeah, my knee hurts too much, I think I'll sit it out. But he came out and he did it for not only himself, but for the WPIAL and for the community. And, very important win for his team at this point.
At 160 pounds, Josh Koscheck for the WPIAL from Waynesburg High School against Russ First for Wisconsin from Plymouth High School. Scoreless, but here comes Koscheck. And a takedown gives him a 2-0 lead. Well, the WPIAL, Craig, looking very strong.
Yes, they are, and we talked about this earlier in the match, and this is where the strength of their lineup is. Josh being a state runner-up, just a match away from being on the Pennsylvania team.
An outstanding career for him at Waynesburg High School. Terry Cole, the head coach at Waynesburg, crediting Koscheck for really upgrading the caliber of wrestling in the entire room with the example that he set throughout his career.
Boy, and that was really punishing. He was really taking to that arm pride that he had there. So he shows he knows how to work it.
5 seconds to go in the first period. Koscheck for the WPIAL with a 2-0 lead. Switch attempt here for First, but time will run out in the period.
Leading at the end of one period, Josh Koscheck, representing WPIAL.
First looked as though he deferred the choice there. Koscheck will take down for the second period, leading 2-0 at the end of one. A nice roll there.
Granby. That was a standing Granby. I think he started on his feet. But that was nice. A lot of action.
Koscheck can certainly put a combination of moves together. He's very quick. He's also very strong, and was an outstanding running back for Waynesburg High School as well. In on a single attempt here trying to add to his 3-0 lead. Minute and a half to go, second period.
Russ is on top there. Looks like he knows what he's trying to work. He taking a weight off there, and Josh is able to get the leg up. Josh is taking him off the mat. Referee's already given him 2 points, so he has the 2 in the control. Right now, being underneath, he still needs to finish it to really take control. There's still a minute and 7 seconds remaining.
Wise move there by Koscheck to return first safely and easily to the mat to avoid the slam call. So here we go with a minute to go in the second period. 5-0. Josh Koscheck for the WPIAL. It's caught a little bit high here, but we'll be able to maintain control. First trying to get to his feet, but Koscheck stays in control.
Russ is, initially he was staying in good bottom position and got some hand control, and Josh continued to keep the pressure on him. So at one point, he had that arm bar again. It looked a little more dangerous, but Russ was able to get the hand control, get the weight off him, and get loose for 1 point.
And we have a break in the action.
Championships in Wisconsin to become the 4th person to accomplish this in the history of this state.
Wrestlers ready to continue, and here we go. 5-1 the lead now for Koscheck late in the second period. Two just working here toward the edge. Koscheck with one last shot here, trying to get a takedown at the buzzer, and he'll get it with 1 second to go. Koscheck with a 7-1 lead.
That was excellent execution. I mean, it was a nice drag, throw by situation, drop low to the ankles, knew exactly where he was at, knew he couldn't drive through it. It was excellent to score 2 points like that in the last closing seconds of the period.
Certainly putting the pressure on first here going to the third.
Well, this is, of course, the area of the lineup where we expected the WPIAL to score points, and they are scoring points, and certainly despite that escape given up to first, Koscheck with a couple of takedowns looking at possibly a major decision, and there's one takedown there.
Nice double by Koscheck, and he's just going to go right back to his feet.
One more takedown he needs to get himself in position for that major decision. We saw a couple matches earlier in this meet where first Joe Charles and then Sean Amstead with 7-point leads with more than 20 seconds left in the match, and didn't try to press the issue to get the major decision, and probably won't cost either way in the team score right now. But when you're in this dual meet situation, you are wrestling for your team, and there needs to be a little bit of that awareness of getting that extra bonus point, and obviously Koscheck is in that position now, and he's looking for the major and more.
I'll tell you, very aggressive and staying that way throughout. With under a minute to go now, he leads 11-3.
Yeah, that was a nice double leg takedown. I was surprised of his setup, but he's really continuing to carry the fight to him.
Now down to 38 seconds remaining. Koscheck with the 8-point margin he was looking for. See what happens here in the final 30 seconds. He goes to a leg lace on top. 19-9 the team score. The WPIAL leading. And a potentially dangerous hold stops action with 15 seconds left. Well, assuming this score holds up, we'd be looking at a 23-9 WPIAL lead with 3 bouts to go. Wisconsin not out of it mathematically, but certainly going to need big points in the final 3 bouts if they're going to come back and win this thing.
Josh is getting himself in trouble just trying to hang on. Hopefully he doesn't give up any points here.
He will not. It's an 11-3 win for Josh Koscheck, representing the WPIAL out of Waynesburg. And he makes the team score 23-9, a 14-point margin with a maximum 18 points available for Wisconsin in these last 3 bouts.
Representing the WP.
We'll see Ryan McQuaid of Kiski High School representing the WPIAL against Tom Campbell for Wisconsin out of Holman High. Campbell 37-1 on the year. Rob, how do you size up this matchup?
Well, Campbell is a year-round wrestler, placed in the Cadet Nationals in Greco-Roman, placed in the Junior Nationals in Greco-Roman, state runner-up in Division I in Wisconsin this year. And Ryan McQuaid had a great senior year for Kiski area, one of the great teams in the WPIAL this year. And obviously it's a match where Campbell's going to have to score and score significantly to keep Wisconsin in it.
Early on, no score. 171-pound matchup. And McQuaid reached for a leg and couldn't get that, but just kept driving in. Got his takedown and leads 2-0.
Yeah, I wish we had a name for that other than just a far leg chop at the knee and shoulder drive, huh? That was nice. It looks like it's something he does on a regular basis, the way he executed it.
Well, it certainly worked for him.
20 seconds.
And an escape now for Campbell to make it 2-1.
Well, Rob, based on your comments, it looks like Jason's going to be wanting, or Tom is going to be really looking to go upper body in this match.
Well, certainly seems to be the case so far. Of course, he gave up the shot on his legs already and the takedown. And if I were Ryan McQuaid, I'd certainly continue the leg attack.
2-1 at the end of one. McQuaid for the WPIAL with the lead. And an opportunity for McQuaid to clinch this dual meet for the WPIAL if he can get a win here.
Yeah, that would be a great win for the WPIAL, and an unfortunate loss for Wisconsin their second year here.
McQuaid on the bottom to start the second period. Trying to pick up an escape. There it is. Looked like Campbell's fingers got tied up in the uniform. Get that taken care of and quickly restart. McQuaid now with a 3-1 lead early in period number 2 here at 171 pounds.
Okay, we see Tom starting to go for the headlock there, and he set it up, stepped right into it. Nice headlock. It's going to be tough for Ryan to fight out of. It's a tight headlock. And guys like Tom who have the Greco-Roman experience know what they're doing in those situations.
And there's the fall at 1 minute and 35 seconds. A big pin for Tom Campbell of Wisconsin to make the team score now 23-15 and keep Wisconsin's hopes alive.
Well, it's certainly going to be interesting to see if Wisconsin can gain the momentum here. We have Jason Forster at 189, another good upper body wrestler, and it's going to be interesting to see what he can accomplish against Rick Pfeiffer, who also has a good leg attack.
Again, 23-15 the team score. And I think I see Tom Doldy, the Connellsville head coach, heading this way. Maybe we get some comments from him about it. 189-pounder Rick Pfeiffer. And he finds himself on his back and in trouble. Let's say hello to Tom Doldy real quickly. And Tom, Rick in a little bit of trouble here early on.
Looking good right now. I don't think Rick would be back-to-back. Got to be ready when you go out, you know. I don't know if he warmed up good enough.
Just get you in here right away. 30 seconds to go, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more time to talk about Rick. But right now he's really fighting.
Yeah, it's not a good position to be in, I don't think, Mark.
One I'm sure that he's not accustomed to being in.
Right. Yeah, cost him about. There you go. At least he maybe make it through it. That's good. That's a good sign.
We'll get a chance to talk to you a little bit longer. He finds himself in a hole 5-0, and a lot of times that happens to guys, especially when you guys like of his caliber obviously don't find themselves in this situation very often. What do you tell a guy like that at a time like this?
And when he gets in that, you mean?
Yeah, when he finds himself down 5-0 early on.
You got to fight like everybody else. It's just a matter of using all your energy to get out from under there, and that's not a good place to be. Like you say, he's not used to that at all.
By the score of 5-1.
So it's 5-1 at the end of one. And Rick Pfeiffer will start the second period on the bottom. Jason Forster for Wisconsin riding here with a 4-point lead. How much preparation, obviously the season officially has ended. How much work is Rick able to do, like, say, in the week leading up to this event?
This past week, I tell you, well, he stayed every day after school. There he got a shot. There he got a shot. Now, you got to hold on to it. Not again. No, that's easy. Boy's on his back again. He's going to...
Now, Wisconsin trying to keep their hopes alive, and they were down by 14 points with 3 to go. They got a fall at 171 from Tom Campbell, and Jason Forster looking to give them one here at 189. And Rob, you mentioned momentum, and certainly if they can get a fall here, they would have it.
Well, as we get the fall there,
now that will make the score now 23-21. It'll come down to the heavyweights. Tom Doldie, I wish we had more opportunity to talk to you, but congratulations on another fine season, and best of luck in the future.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Appreciate it.
Tom Doldie, the head coach of Connellsville High School and head coach for Rick Pfeiffer. The fall comes, and we go down to the heavyweight bout.
well, and this is a situation where I think Wisconsin certainly wishes that they had their ace heavyweight here, Joe Wong from Platteville, who was a 3-time state champion, originally scheduled to come on this team, but Dale Merriam from DC Everest, who did not qualify for the state tournament but lost in the region to the state champion and the 3rd place finisher, is going to try and give it a go. And the pins by Campbell and Forster have put him in a position where he could win this match for Wisconsin just with a win.
It's always exciting to see a dual meet come down to the heavyweights, and here we are thanks to those 2 falls for Wisconsin. And Jason Yohe for the WPIAL from McGuffey High School, and Dale Marion from DC Everest here trying to each win it for their respective teams.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Wisconsin's definitely got the momentum going on their side. The big difference right now for Dale is the size difference that he has, against Jason.
Scoreless in the first period, final 10 seconds. A couple of underhooks there for Marion, but time will run out in the first.
At the end of the first period, the score 0-0.
Yohe will defer choice to the 3rd period. And Dale Marion will start the second on the bottom. I'm not sure what the weight differential is here, but obviously it's in Yohe's advantage.
Yeah, well, that giving up that escape that quickly, I think Jason really needed to get some weight on him and wear him down a little bit, take advantage of that opportunity. So Jason's going to have to get a little more offensive. He started off early, but he's going to have to keep it up for the WPIAL team.
He has, having seen him a number of times this year, shown an ability to execute throws and really make something happen in a big way. And I don't know if the weight advantage will help him in this situation or not, but my guess is that's what he's looking for.
Well, certainly, of course, last week at the state, we saw him right off the bat throw Matt Meisenhelder of Red Lion for the pin. Meisenhelder, one of the highly regarded heavyweights in Class AAA. And, Dale Merriam looking for a throw himself, giving up that weight disadvantage. He's going to need to make sure that he gets the good hip position in order to execute that. But Wisconsin, of course, with the 2 kids at 71 and 89, came out throwing, and they both needed home runs, and they both scored. So they really took the pressure off of Dale Merriam. He doesn't have to go out there and get a pin or bonus points. He just needs a win in order to put it away for Wisconsin and end the WPIAL's not only 4-year winning streak, but get a little revenge for 1993. And it's going to be interesting to see how these last 2.5 minutes play out here.
30 seconds to go in the second period. The escape for Marion in this period the only point of the bout so far. Wrestlers step out with 27 seconds to go. 23-21, the team score in favor of the WPIAL, and whoever wins this bout wins the dual meet for his team. Yowie trying to set something up here in the neutral position, but time running down in the second. Yowie hooked over top both arms.
And you got the crowd yelling, use it, so they're looking for Jason to hit something on there.
But he won't be able to do it in the second period. He'll go to the third, trailing 1-0. Yowie obviously going to take the bottom position here and hope to get out and go from there.
What's he like on bottom? Is he going to be able to get up and get out?
He does very well. I would expect him to get out here pretty quickly, to be honest with you, and there it is.
Yeah. Match tied.
Some blood. Jason Yowie says it's not coming from me, and we have a timeout. The heavyweights ready to continue now. 1-1 early in the second period, or excuse me, early in the third period. 23-21. The lead belongs to the WPIAL, but Marion with a victory here can give Wisconsin the victory in the dual meet. Yowie trying to set something up here for, at the very least, a takedown to break this 1-1 tie. But Marion doing a good job of not really allowing Yowie to use the advantage that he has.
Well, these Wisconsin wrestlers, for the most part, and you know, Merriam's listening hard to his coach in the corner, Scott Cleaver, who was his high school coach at DC Everest. These Wisconsin wrestlers know upper body tie-ups similar to what Jason Yowie is using. And now Yowie spins behind. He's looking for the takedown. So far, it's been his size advantage that has helped him, but now Merriam's still trying to work out of it. Still no takedown, but the Wisconsin wrestlers know this position, and Yowie hasn't been able to score with it yet. He's got to get his hips up here.
He pulled Marion on top of himself, and now Marion the one close to getting the takedown with 30 seconds to go. What a finish.
Merriam just needs to keep good hip position here.
20 seconds left.
Now if you're trying to work out to the single leg, still nothing yet. And still back to the position for Yowie, and Merriam still on his feet.
Oh, the takedown with 5 seconds remaining for Jason Yowie. What a terrific job by Dale Marion to fight off the attempt, but Jason Yowie prevails for the WPIAL with 5 seconds remaining. He wins it 3-1, and the WPIAL wins 26-21.
Well, a great finish for Jason Yowie, but you look at that team score with a 5-point difference, and once again, it all goes back to that 5-point Granby that Todd Beatty, losing 4-0, hit on the two-time state champion Josh Haybeck at 125. I thought all along that is what would turn the match for the WPIAL, and that's why I voted for Todd Beatty for the outstanding wrestler for the WPIAL. I don't know who's going to get it, but he's still the outstanding wrestler in my mind, not only for that move and that win, but for the momentum swing, which got the WPIAL going after being down 6-0 early.
I would agree wholeheartedly. Again, the final score 26-21. The WPIAL defeats Wisconsin.